Good afternoon, and welcome to another conflagrant version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your decimated and desolate host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Okay, as you may well know, I haven't been doing very many diatribes lately, and I already told you why. There's no real point in me continuing with my doomsaying and prognostications, because everything's starting to happen just as I predicted, and there's no point in going on. I warned you. I warned everyone. And although we are not seeing atomic bombs dropping in every major city, we are not seeing an asteroid plunge into the Gulf of Mexico. We're not seeing hordes of aliens from outer space attacking. We are seeing the conflagration coming and happening here, there, and everywhere. Now, I feel it's my duty to make a few comments, even though they are already out there, and it's obvious to any sentient human being. But when the chickens come home to roost, they often bring fire and brimstone with them. And although some people may be seeing the folly of their beliefs, the folly of their loyalties, and the credos and ideologies to which they hold dear, reality's reality. Objective reality will make itself known, and your subjective wisdom will not change it. And to discuss the mistakes is to reach that point where you are deemed a horrible bigot and racist for daring to say that diversity, equity, and inclusion has destroyed a major city in what used to be the United States. To say that is to be a racist, because you're saying that the leaders were elected based on attributes other than their capabilities, and that's racist. And now when things go wrong, to say that it's because they were not capable is racist. So you see how we're going to be destroyed completely and utterly across the board. Not just LA, not just Manhattan, not just pockets of the Midwest that are being destroyed by various things. All of us. Because we can't do anything about it. We can't discuss why things go wrong. And that's another major issue with why we won't ever solve problems, is because when there's a major disaster, for a person to say, well, it might be because of that, then the person who may be the most culpable, the person who was in charge, will say, how gauche, how awful of you to politicize this while people are still being burned alive. I think that's, like other people have said, that's the perfect time to politicize something. Except for politicians who think that politics is just a popularity contest where whoever is the most likable gets elected to be a leader but not solve any problems. And when problems come along, then it's very unseemly to discuss it from a political standpoint while people are still being burned. Now, I was pontificating a while ago how it would be nice if a few of these people who are in their ivory towers or in their studios got a bit of a taste of how bad the country's going, because it seems like they're just so exempt. They just sit there in their studios making, $15 to $20 million a year to spout their opinions, because they know how to look a few things up and have a staff to help them with their opinions, and they look good. They make $15 to $20 million a year, and then they say how bad things are in New York and how crime is terrible and how this border situation is awful, and or as the other side in the other studio saying how awful it's going to be if Orangey takes office and how awful it is and how everything's his fault. Everything that happens, okay, you got two sides, and they're all, clutching their pearls, and it's like, it'd be kind of nice if some of this hits home for them. Well, it did, didn't it? This time, it's like, yeah, I got a house in the Pacific Palisades, I got a house in Brentwood, I got a house in the Hollywood Hills, and it's burning to the ground, and they shut down my fire insurance 3 months ago for some reason. For some reason, the insurance companies felt in LA and the environs that they could no longer offer fire insurance to their policyholders. And now they're talking about rebuilding, and we're resilient, and Altadena is, and blah, blah, blah. We're resilient, we'll build back. I don't know if the day and age of building back is here anymore. Back in the old days, in the 1850s, when a town burnt down, you either left it for dead or you did build it back, because it didn't take long to raise a few barns. But now building back is a much bigger project when you look at the utter desolation. And a lot of them weren't insured. And even if they were, the insurance company's going to pay to rebuild the whole area. And it's not done, by the way. Today is Saturday. It's a lull in the weather. And if I had been doing diatribes on a regular basis, I would have told you this was going to happen a week ago. Because I saw indications on the news that there was going to be a weather pattern heading towards Southern California that was going to be unlike anything they'd ever seen before. And weather people were warning, saying this is going to be something kind of dangerous. 100-mile-an-hour gusts in LA. Never seen it. I've never seen it as long as I lived there. And fires start through whatever reason. And then the 100-mile gusts just decimate the whole area now. That started in Wednesday. Thursday was very, very bad. And Friday was kind of calming down. Today, they are able to fly aircraft to help put out these huge, huge fires. And there's not enough water. I guess they can get it out of the sea now if they have the aircraft. But the point is, tomorrow is Sunday, and those self-same winds are coming back, and they may be the 70-mile-an-hour gusts or 60, but there's still going to be gusts, and there's still going to be fires, and whatever is not burned already will be burned, which means that maybe Santa Monica goes up, because there's nothing left in the mountains to burn, so you may as well go down into the city. And if Santa Monica goes up, then Venice goes up, and then West LA goes up, and then you start to have a problem, don't you? So we'll see what happens. Now, every time these weird things happen, like Lahaina, like flying saucers or drones, which are unexplained, and have now fallen off the radar because they don't want people talking about those anymore. After you have those incidents, there's always conspiracy theorists. Yes, there were bolts of lightning coming down on Lahaina. This was done from space. And they have good reason to think so. Because if you look at it from the standpoint of the powers that be, they want to get rid of 6 billion people, and at the same time they want to clear the landscape for a new paradigm of living. Which means Lahaina is not going to be a quaint little town with local Hawaiians in their houses that they paid for 80 years ago. No, that's too nice a place, and we're going to burn the whole thing down and make it in our own image. A smart city for rich people. Okay. So there's reason to believe that there's conspiracy theories, but then the minute you stop thinking that there's no conspiracy theory here, it's just a conflagration of, the confluence of bad luck, of wind, weather, and a few sparks, and a few things blow down, and before you know it. So no conspiracy, but just when you think there isn't a conspiracy, there probably is a conspiracy. And I think we'll see if there is a conspiracy in the next 2 days. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. 3 days. Because if they really want to burn everything down there, then they will allow it to burn. They will set Santa Monica ablaze. And they will set Venice ablaze. And they will set West LA. And if possible, they will burn down the entire city of LA, including downtown, which really could use, downtown could burn down. I don't think there'd be much loss there. But just the whole area is kind of a shame. I have a lot of good memories, especially in the West LA, Santa Monica area. That was my old stomping grounds. I wasn't allowed in Beverly Hills or in Pacific Palisades. They would turn me around the minute I crossed Sunset. It's like, you are not driving the kind of car that we want in this neighborhood, so let's just turn you right around and head you back down into the basin. And that was the way that was. But once in a while I did venture into that area, just out of curiosity, and it's very nice, but it's always the rich people who suffer in these things. Always has been, always will be. You want that prime mountain real estate, and then when the fires come, you lose your house. I don't know how they do it, but it's going to be really bad. And I think it's just starting, and we have 9 days before Orangey takes over. And that's going to be interesting. I'm still not convinced that he's going to be able to do that, but I think he's toning down the rhetoric enough to where he doesn't get himself in trouble right away. And Petri Dish is handing Orangey a real hot dish of crap to take over, because he's doing his best to sabotage the country before he leaves, to show how bad Orangey is. And that's obvious. I don't want to go into the details. We all know it. And we all know that the politicians will destroy this country in order to forward their political party agenda. If it takes burning down cities, then it takes burning down cities. But I think I talked about everything there. I could talk more about the incompetence of the leadership of California. And you gotta feel sorry almost. Especially for the DEIs, because deep down they know they're DEIs, and then they know that they're looking around and seeing that a city is destroyed, a major city on the globe of this planet is being destroyed. And they're blaming you, and that can't feel good, no matter who you are, even if you are demons. I mean, demons have feelings too. So I'll leave it there. It's exactly 15 minutes. I didn't say much. I just wanted to get one in. And if you want to comment, that'd be great, because I won't be doing that many more, as you can see. And, as a postscript, they did tear me down. YouTube took down my channel for 2 days because they said I was a scam artist and I was doing some deceptive practices. And so I wrote back to them and I said, why don't you look at my video? You can see I've never tried to sell a damn thing, and I've never tried to deceive anyone. And they wrote back immediately and said, sorry, you're back. So YouTube can be reasoned with. It's the second time I've had my channel replaced because they, for some reason, thought that I was doing something wrong. But I'll do one once in a while. I'm sure I'll try to do one by January 20th, and we'll see how it goes. If Orangey actually gets to hold his arm up and take the oath. So have a good day, and see you later. Bye.